Hi there. Welcome to Being Your Ray. I just woke up from an afternoon nap and I have few ideas that I want to talk about. And I'm sure a lot of you might not agree with me on this, but if anyone feels the same way or has been going through something like this, I just want to give them comfort. So if you don't agree, leave it. But if you do, I I'm glad you're here. So let's get started. All right. So this is about my take on money, success, career, all those things. All right. And have earned money in the past. I have tried all sorts of successful career, even creatively and professionally in the past. And seeing all of it, now I'm at a place where none of it, what should I say, is as stimulating for me as I would like and sustainable. So for anything to sustain for a long period of time, it needs to be creatively stimulating or like your brain needs to be engaged in that activity in an what do I call? Like I want to keep learning more and experimenting and feeling like I'm growing. So I've seen in everything that I've tried in the sense of career and money, there always comes this stagnation point after which I just feel like, okay, I've learned everything that I had to from this process, and I don't think I'm growing anymore in this. So I change. Like I transition into something else and try something else that actually seems exciting to me. The only place that hasn't happened with is yoga and meditation. And that's the only area where I feel like I have been progressing. I don't get bored of it. There isn't any point where I feel like, okay, I've learned everything that this had to offer, and now I should shift and learn AI and tech now. It has never happened. Like, it's always something that expands my mind even further, something that gets me more and more involved with the process, and I can feel the growth in. So, every time there's this debate about people who are spiritual don't go after money or something like that. That is not what I'm aiming for. I want a beautiful life, both spiritually and materially. And I would want people to live a balanced life in that sense. But what I don't really agree with is sole focus on anyone. Like if someone is spiritual, they only have to be spiritual and they can't be thinking about money. I don't think that is right. And if someone is material, they are only fully thinking about money and how to make more of it and not thinking about their spiritual progress at all. I think that is wrong as well. And the best case scenario would be to combine the two in whatever phase of life you're in. And right now, I have the time and freedom to like experiment things and try my hands on multiple careers. There will be a point where I have to settle down and worry about stability and security. But as of now, while I'm in college, I have some time to explore and understand where I want to take things ahead. Because, especially as a college student, it's very difficult to stick to one career and be like, okay, this is what I want to do for my life. And it pays me well. I find it creatively stimulating. I know this will sustain me and my creative juices. So, fine. And I'm also good at this. this also solves a problem. And I get the feeling that I'm contributing to the world in some or the other way. I feel that mix is always a question mark in the minds of young students and people in general, even when they are in jobs. So I'll give you the example of a very nice, stable, secure job that I had. And it was at a great company. The pay was good. And start ki 3-4 mahine, I was very excited. I did not believe that I got the opportunity in the first place. I got it through LinkedIn because I was creating content there for a while. And yeah, one of the best creators and my first job actually. Yeah. So it was a very good experience. I do not have any complaints with that. But 3 to 4 months into it, I started feeling like everything has plateaued, and all that I had to learn from this experience I have understood what this job is all about. And I feel like I'm just repeating the same tasks every single day. I don't feel like I'm solving like a huge problem, or I'm growing in the job, or it is creatively stimulating. All it did was pay money, and that was good. But again, I was in college, I did not have to worry about that. I just wanted to get the taste of what the world looked like, and yeah, just try to understand what career path I want to go ahead with. So I did a couple of freelance projects after that, and I did it all for money. And soon enough, I realized that this is not helping me with my thirst for knowledge, for potential, for solving problems, for doing something meaningful while learning from it. And yeah, I just felt a lot of stagnation with everything that I was doing. And that's when I decided to stop and kind of do a review on where we are at, what are my priorities at this point of time. And I'm not at all suggesting to leave everything that you have and think the way I do. I'm just saying whatever phase in your life you're at, see what kind of risks you can take, how much of freedom you have, and try to prioritize what matters the most to you in any case. So I could see that for the age and the time that I was in, I could afford to stop and take a review and restart my life once again. And yeah, my focus shifted towards understanding more on yoga and meditation and how I can bring people together to not just learn about it, but also help in making it an integral part of our lives. And while I'm thinking of all of this, I know for a few years, at least in the start, there won't be any money coming in, or I can't think people will be flooding to understand what I have to offer or connect with me. But at least I know that I'm growing every single day, and I get the feeling that, okay, this is adding to something. I feel like I am heading somewhere. In the previous cases, that wasn't happening. And that feeling of constant boredom ate me up. So, yeah, I think in every person's life, there comes a point where they cannot handle the amount of boredom, or they cannot, what do I call it? Their dreams don't let them stay in the same place. or whatever you want to call it, is what I had been going through. And there is all sorts of path when it comes to earning money, like 7 ways to do this and do that, and but no one tells you what happens after that. And when you feel there's a point of stagnation, of course you can switch jobs, but again there comes a point of stagnation after 3 to 4 months. Like every freelance project or like this career related thing that I've tried to do, there comes a level of stagnation after 3 to 4 months max. And that's just me. But yeah, if you have felt the same way, I hope I can do something about it. And my take on this whole thing is nothing that you do is going to sustain you, will fulfill you if your foundation and basics itself aren't set. And by foundation and basics, I don't mean learning or getting a job. I mean deconditioning your life. I don't know if deconditioning is a word. I think it's reconditioning. I'm sorry if I'm creating this thing, but yeah, I just wanted to focus on unlearning a lot of things. So everything that has been told to you till this point, once you see that none of it is true and none of it makes sense, you start to break those patterns and kind of unlearn all that had been told layer by layer. And that is what I'm learning to do now and coming to my definition or my version of the lifestyle I would want to live. So the whole idea is to help you understand that you don't have to become someone or chase something. You only need to take off all the layers that you weren't and find your center once again. And I know I keep telling that do things from a place of groundedness where you feel centered and things like that. And what I am trying to say is when you find your own center, which is your own way of looking at life, purely through your lens and your experiences, everything that has worked out for you, and doubling that down on that. So, for example, I went back to what was working out for me. It was in the area of spirituality. I started doubling down on it. And the best thing about meditation is what it does is it brings your breath to a very stable state, and your breath has a direct correlation with your thoughts. Your thoughts are constantly running in your mind, and it's at a very rapid speed. And you'll see that your breath is also not stable when you have a lot of thoughts. You can't control your thoughts. The moment you try to control your thoughts, it, yeah, explodes. But the one thing you can control is your breath. And once you start controlling your breath and learning the science of doing that through yoga, pranayama, meditation, all of those breathing related techniques, there comes a point when your breath is stable and there are literally no thoughts in your mind. And that is what I call your center. Now, this is where you are not influenced by anyone. You don't have any sorts of impurities that the society and world has put upon you. And now this is purely who you are. And then an idea comes from that place and you execute on that, or something that you feel during that meditation, and then you execute upon that. So I want to strengthen that center as much as I can so that I'm not constantly confused and influenced from the outside, because that is always going to change and that will differ from person to person. But unless I don't have my own center to think from, to take action from, to have an unbiased opinion from, I will always be attaching to someone else's point of view and keep on switching with that. So I feel that is very important in life. And I wish it is something that should be taught to every single person since the start. And the amount of pressure, importance, or whatever you want to call it, is given to money. I wouldn't say it's not as necessary, but it is equally necessary to give that level of importance to finding your center, to hone your originality, your authenticity, your creativity. So, why can't we keep spirituality or creativity at the level of earning money? So, yeah, now when I look at all of this, I just feel anything that I do from a place of being centered, it adds more energy to my life. It gives me more enriching ideas. It adds more flavor in my life. So I'm obviously going to stick to this. I don't need any productivity routines. I don't need to find 101 ways to earn more or something like that. I just have a feeling that I'll figure it out and I will keep taking action. But when I had all the money, when I had those resources, when I was in like a dream place and had all the opportunities, I did not feel it like this even then. So unless I don't have the confidence and the willingness to stay in a job or to stay in a role or to make money, it will come to halt at some point of time. So I'd rather tweak things a little and strengthen my own voice. And from that point, I can think of what next to do, what idea to stick to, what to create, how to help, and all of those things. So, all in all, I just want to emphasize on the fact that you can decide what is important for you, and you don't have to follow everything that has been told to you because it won't sustain for a longer period of time. You might chase it, and I actually would suggest like try their way, try the ways that your parents or the society tell you to go to, and you'll see it for yourself that it's not working out. And this audio is for the point where it does not work out, where you have tried all of those ways and you still don't feel like you are progressing in life. I am 100% sure you haven't found your center or you aren't working from that place as of now. So you need to start unlearning a lot of things one day at a time. Build your center little by little through awareness, through meditation, through learning about the scriptures or anything that helps you come back to who you are, and slowly all of the questions that you have start to dissolve. And from that place, I know you will make all the money you wanted, all the success that you wanted, all the relationships that you wanted to build, all the self-love that you needed, all the fear that you wanted to conquer. All of it is possible by just fixing this one thing, and that is coming back to your center. And I hope you try to chase that as fiercely as you try to chase money and success. Because I promise you, it will give you rewards far more bigger than what you would have imagined. But following things that people are telling you to do, you will get everything that you did not expect, but not in a good way. Like you have a huge expectations that this will fix my life and make me happier and solve my problems, which it does up to some extent. For me, that was like 20% solve home cheese, not more than that. So yeah, you might expect a lot out of that life, but it will only give you somewhat 20% of satisfaction. But when you go through this route and first try to get stable within yourself, you will find and feel and attract things that you wouldn't have imagined in the best way possible. So if you're still listening to this, I know you want your life to change and bring as much stability as you can in every area. But for that, you need to first become stable and work upon that. So please start doing that, start taking it seriously, and yeah, start meditating, start doing breath work, have enough belief in it, give it some years, and I can guarantee you it will be more than all the years that you have given to all the conditioned process that you went. All right, then, that's it for today. I hope you find some value out of this, and thank you so much for listening.